Alright guys, so we got a case study today. It's hot as hell as usual in Texas. Customer called me here on a 2001 Honda Odyssey. It's a crank no start. So we're gonna just verify the complaint. I already did, but just for the sake of the video, let's listen to the crank. Now it started. Oh, this is crazy. It's about to get off. Yeah, it's getting off. Honestly, it seems to me like a fuel issue. This is where I'm leaning. When I just came, I tried to check the timing belt, because just why not? So open up the inspection cover here and have some random passer to crank the car for me, and I can see that this is rotating. So I don't have a timing belt that is broken issue. So now we got to move on towards the fuel issue on this car. That's my guess. So now we got to locate. I have to locate a fuel port. I got to figure out where the fuel pump is. Never done a fuel pump on this vehicle. Hoping they have an access hole on, somewhere here, and doesn't, it's not something that I need to take the tank for, because I'm not going to do that in this heat. But yeah, so that's pretty much it. I'm going to take off these covers, and I'm going to try to locate the fuel, the fuel supply line to the injectors, and I'm going to try to see if I get any type of pressure coming out of there, and that's going to be the first item. And if I have nothing coming out of the fuel line, then we know we've got fuel related issue, and I have to go online and figure out how to get to the pump, and we can do our testing right at the pump. But that's where we are right now. All right, so about 20 minutes later, with a YouTube video to help me figure out how to take those seats out very simply. Just a latch at the bottom there. Okay, so the seats is out. Kind of folded the carpet out of my way. There's some videos on how to do that. I mean, it's not complex. Basically, these things right here are basically the anchor to the carpet. So you just gotta remove the screw, remove all of them that's around the fuel pump area. There's going to be the fuel pump right almost in the middle, more towards the driver's side. This is the second row, not the third row, second row, almost to the middle, but more to the driver's side. So roll the carpet from that side this way, and now you have fuel pump is right there. So now I just want to check for powers and ground. Usually when you see a connector like this with 5 pins, these 2 pins next to each other are going to be usually power and ground, and the rest of them are going to be for the level center. This is my experience with Hondas, Toyotas, Hyundais. All of them usually that's what it is. So I got my power probe here. What I'm going to do is I do want it to go to sound, because I need the sound when I'm going to go and turn the key on the car. I want to hear the sound. So let me locate the power in the ground. Well, the ground at least. Let me see. Well, right now everything is going to be ground. So what we're going to do is I'm going to grab let me go get some probes. Be back. Check for powers and ground. I think this is the power side. That's the black with the yellow trace. I believe the other wire is just a black wire, so that's probably going to be the ground. So the black probe, to the positive side. We're just going to look for battery voltage when I go to on position, because it has to prime the fuel pump, right? So I'm going to put you right there. You look at the screen, it's going to turn red. When I get enough voltage, you'll see the voltage. I mean, just zoom in, so you see what I'm saying. You can hear the noise change also, but in case you get both noise and all right, ready, on, right there. That's it. 10.9 volt. So that's what we needed. So we know we definitely have voltage going to the fuel pump. Now the next test I want to do is going to be almost like a bench test, because I always want to do those. You can't trust stuff. So since, let me zoom out a little bit. The black one is going to be our power side. So this pin right here to my right, where are we? Okay, this pin to my right there, that's going to be my positive. You ready? Just listen for the fuel pump. Nothing. Again. Nothing. I mean, I do hear it very faintly. Now, is it enough to build fuel pressure? That I'm not sure of. So which one is the pressure line? Which one is the return line? I don't know. And unfortunately, in the engine bay, there's no way for me to check for the fuel pressure. It's just bad design there as far as I'm concerned. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to check for codes. You know, hopefully I'm not having a crankshaft sensor problem, and it's really a fuel issue. I mean, I can hear the fuel pump. Really can hear the fuel pump, and this is why you should always be thorough. Even though I didn't diagnose this properly yet, I'm not going to lie. I didn't check fuels at the injectors because it's difficult. So, but this is definitely, I hear the pump running in there. So I don't want to spill fuel all over the place, but I may have to just do that because I need to be sure. I think this one is a fatter one of the two, so I'm thinking this is going to be the supply line, it's going to be the return line. So let's try to crank the car a couple more times and see. Alright, let's go see. Okay. We got no check engine light. If this is not the strangest thing I've ever seen, it's almost like I just woke the pump up by using the power probe. Obviously, I don't have no crankshaft sensor or anything there problems. Wow. Does it have an external filter maybe that's clogged up? But even if it was, it will still be clogged up after this. I mean, unless... I'm not sure if it has an external fuel filter. But usually they're going to be along the frame rail, which I don't see anything around here. So, oh my goodness. Damn it. I think I need to get my scope and my amp meter, my amp clamp, and I'm going to check for the what kind of amp draw I'm having on the pump. I think that's where we're at. Make sure that you know, it's not drawing too much current, and which would be a sign that this is going bad. But right now, I'm puzzled. Like I said, all I can think of is maybe using the power probe has woken up this thing. As you saw, as I saw, this was not turning over at all. Now it's running, has plenty of power. That's bizarre. That's very bizarre. All right, let me get set up. Let me get the probe out. I mean the scope. We're gonna check and see what kind of amperage we get from the power wire. It was running again. It died on me while it was running, and the fuel pump, I can still hear it go off. So I know, I'm just trying to see if I'm losing power at the fuel pump. So now I got my rig going on. I'm on the power side. So we're just waiting and see what's going to happen. I got my scope here. I need to maybe get some, let me see. Alright, so we want to do some current probe. Alright, it's already changing. I can hear it. I don't know why the voltage is so shifty. And I don't have a light for the alternator not charging properly. But you can see the voltage is dropping. But the alternator light is not on. I mean, the battery light is not on in the dash at all. It does come on when you're in the on position, but anyway, so maybe this fluctuation is normal. I'm not sure. I haven't used my scope in a minute, so I forgot how to set this crap up. There's one thing about using a scope that I just, you know what I mean, like, you gotta be on it all the time. I'm not even sure which freaking thing to, actually, it'll help this thing to be on. 20 milliamp, 10 millivolt per amp. No, 100 millivolt per amp. I'm not sure if it's the right setting or not. I just don't understand this at all, but let's see. Yeah, I'm definitely not doing something right. Scope thing requires a whole semester of doing nothing but scopes and tests, and then maybe you'll get a good grasp of it and you won't forget it, because honestly I struggle with it a lot. Alright, let me go to this. I haven't used it in like months, so let's clear everything in here. Channel 1, let's go to amperage, low, high, min, max, RMS. Alright, so there's nothing going on with this. Low minus 40 and 40 milliamp. I mean, I'm definitely not measuring it properly. No doubt about that. No doubt about that. So I got a reading now. Alright, let me tweak it. We're getting somewhere. There you go. There you go. Yes, sir. Yep. Now this signal right here, I'm supposed to see humps, not this jagged stuff right here. So I'm at 50 milliamp. Okay, let me just try to stretch it a little bit, maybe a little bit more, a little bit more. Yeah, man. Yeah, finally. Yeah, this is definitely not a good signal. But not sure why I'm still seeing milliamps. I know the pumps are, it's got to pull between, you know, 50 milliamp, I mean 50 milliamp, between 4 to 10, right? So what I'm seeing right here is kind of not what I'm looking to see. Or maybe my setup is wrong. That's probably what it is. Let me go to 10x here, see if it'll make a difference. Because maybe that's the setting that I need. Alright, let's see. try it again. Yeah, but anyway, this is not what I'm supposed to be seeing. I know that much. On a good fuel pump, I'm supposed to see humps, not this. Like I said, this is whatever that is right there. This garbage signal that I'm seeing right now. I'm supposed to see real humps, and there is nothing to look like real humps in this pump. So I think I'm gonna call the fuel pump. The supply voltage is steady, but the pump is doing that. Yeah, I think I'm gonna call it, and that's just kind of how it is. Let me just put my settings in so people can see what kind of settings I have. Right, those are my settings there. Right, and I'm using that. Yeah, maybe I'm gonna post it on one of the Facebook pages, trying to help me sort this out, because definitely I'm not a scope expert by any means. But like I said, I'm used to seeing like literally humps like this. This is not it right here. I can test it on my own vehicle and I will show you the humps. So I feel like this means that the pump is bad. No matter how I stretch it, it's never going to get to humps. Let me go back here. Yeah, look at that. Yeah, this is 20 milliseconds. 50 milliseconds. Oh, maybe I was wrong. 100 milliseconds. Okay, let me clean this up a little bit. Maybe I was wrong. Hold on. Let me kill the persist. I forgot how to do that. Maybe display persist. None. Okay, cool. It's already there. Let me oh shit. Forgot it. Put the cap back. Where are you? Woo! Oh, I gotta turn this car off. I'm completely out of line here. Yeah, maybe I was wrong. The setting that I had was not the right setting. Again, that's why I don't rush to call anything when it comes to using scopes and stuff, because I am not good at it at all yet. Hold on one second. Let me sort out this problem here that I created. A case of barking up the wrong tree. Crankshaft position sensor circuit malfunction. Yep. So, because I seen the tack move a little bit when I was cranking, I didn't think it was that. And then it started and it ran, as you saw, fine until it died, which could be also the crankshaft sensor when it does, get hot and it fails. So this is what was the other possibility. We monitored that pump, and the pump wasn't failing. The ripples are good actually. Now we're going to prove it. I'm going to start it. Yep. Now we're gonna just let me delete the codes first. Let's erase the codes. Okay, erase the codes. This is 2001, so everything is super slow. All right, turn the switch off. Okay. On. Let's go to live data. Let's pick out engine RPM. If it is there somewhere. Alright, CMP, CKP. All of that CKP, CMP noise or whatever applies to that. What else? Main relay fuel pump on. What else we need? I need to get now the RPM, engine speed. Alright, let's go to selected. Let's view all of these things. Alright guys, crank it, see if we have any engine speed, RPM. 0. Okay, now it's on. Main relay is on. That's the fuel pump. So one thing I'm not going to try to do is a cam crank correlation or cam signal, because it's in a bad spot that I think it's going to be by the crank pulley. Hopefully it's not something at the timing belt, because that's another situation. But yeah, I mean, I have RPM, so if we have RPM, we can safely assume, again, not 100%, but we can assume that we have a crank signal. All right, make sure our our fuel pump is being actuated there. And we have battery voltage of the fuel pump. Alright, fuel is not our problem. And I'm going to tell you why. In fact, we're going to do single capture there. We're going to do the same thing again, and then we're going to check out the scope, see our results there. All right. Okie doke. Now let's try to see if we can get this to be a little bit better. I mean, I wish I can capture more than just one screen, but let's see. Nah, enhance it. Sorry guys, you're not even in the picture there. Alright, let me just capture more on the screen. So we're gonna put more time on the screen. Maybe more, 1 second. I mean, this is not what I'm looking for by any means. By any means. Alright, let me pause this. I got some thinking to do off camera so I can focus. But this is bonkers. This is where we're at. I decided to go check the main relay, because sometimes when I go onto the on position on the computer, I don't see it turning on. So when I come here, what do I see? Look at this pin right here. You see how it's cracked? It's actually moving. Literally moving in and out. So I'm gonna just trying to get these things flowed again and see if it'll solve the problem. But worst come to worst, we're just gonna get a main relay. But I'm gonna just trying to flow these things back, all of these pins. I mean, it does seem like it's some burning right here. There's discoloration right here, kind of brownish a little bit. But we don't know until we try it out. So I got my kit here, as you saw me in the other videos. I'm gonna try to flow this. Alright, it's running again after so many different trials. I I'm still not sure what's going on. Fan just came on. But again, I reflowed that solder joint, but it still didn't start right away. I had to maintain an open throttle, and I had to really release that gradually, slowly until we got to that point. But so far, again, I haven't seen anything conclusive of what I've done to repair this car yet. Granted, it wasn't starting, and it started on camera, and ever since then, I see this is going crazy. For example, this ELD sensor output voltage is completely out of range, according to what's going on here. 67.6. I'm not sure why. I don't have no air on, the lights are not on, there's nothing on in the car, so I'm not sure. But based upon what I'm seeing, the alternator looks to be charging properly. A battery is strong enough. I don't know, I'm getting tired of this car right now. So right now it's running flawlessly. I might want to go and check if it has an idle air control valve. That's something that I might want to look at and make sure it's not stuck or something. Maybe clean the throttle body, those type of things. But beyond that, I don't see anything, honestly, besides a bad fuel pump, which I can't prove. I don't have a fuel pump sensor there to check the fuel pressure. I don't have a way to put a fuel pressure gauge there. And of course, my test using the scope, which should have been very conclusive if I had the knowledge. It's not conclusive to me, because this is what I see, and I'm not sure if what I'm seeing is correct or not, honestly. Right there, 1 millisecond. If I go to 10 milliseconds, 20 milliseconds, 50 milliseconds, let's see what we got. We got something like that. If I go 2 amp, it's not small, I want to make it long, higher, taller. Yeah, okay, let's space it out. Yeah, not sure, but I'm gonna leave everything the way it is. I gotta go home and cogitate, think about this, do some more research, go on the Identifix, and trying to see, and also take some of the captures and share with some of the people on the forums, and help me figure this out. At least this part right here. If I had a way to check for fuel pressure, I wouldn't need none of this crap. I could just check the fuel pressure there. But I'm gonna still elect to go get a new crankshaft sensor, because it does have that issue. The code came back twice for the crankshaft sensor, and it was a permanent code, which means maybe it failed a number of times to where the computer decided this is a permanent situation, you need to fix it. So definitely we're going to get a crankshaft sensor. This is still, the voltage is good at the pump. The pump, obviously is working. I'm not sure what the pressure is, but it's enough pressure for the car to run properly right now. So I'm not going to focus too much more on this pump side, but I'll still leave it open just in case, because I still need some interpretation for that one. So what I'm going to do, actually, I'm going to take a capture of this so I can share it. So we're going to go, I'm going to make the voltage the way I had it early on, which is actually right there. I'm going to 2 milliseconds right there, and I'm going to go right about there, and I'm going to record that. Right, I'm going to get like about 10 seconds of it. After that, I'm going to change the settings. Alright, so now let's get different settings. Let's go maybe right there, 10 milliseconds. Okay, Let's get 5 milliseconds. Let's get 20 milliseconds, 50 milliseconds, 20 milliseconds. Let's zoom in height-wise. Alright, so I captured a few different ways, and hopefully it'll help the professional identify what's going on. Alright, stop the capture there. Cool. Let's wrap it up. I think I'm good with this. Take this off before I run out my battery. Always remember to do this. Turn it off. Alright, cool. Okay, alright. Well, hopefully you like my process. I didn't film everything because I'll be here for a while, and you'll see me struggling, looking very clumsy at times. So, but at least I think I'm trying to follow a logical process based upon the little knowledge that I have. So as long as I'm doing that, I'm okay. And then, like I said, we'll check with the professionals and see where we went wrong and what did we miss. I just noticed some things. The water is leaking, and it's leaking from this side. Only thing that's on our side is going to be the water pump, which is a timing belt job. So now let's backtrack. If the water is leaking, there's a good chance that the water is going into the sensor for the crankshaft sensor. I think the crankshaft sensor is by the crankshaft, which will be right underneath the water pump. Look at it. Water is right there. Look underneath. So could it be that indeed our problem is the crankshaft sensor being wet or wetted, whatever the English is, by the leakage that's going on at the water pump? Ultimately, this is a timing belt job. I'm not sure this guy's going to want to do this. He got the car for free. So I really doubt he's going to want to invest on something like that. So yeah, we'll see. Let me call him up and explain to him everything that I saw, and let him decide what he wants to do. But this is not a cheap repair at all. At all. And this car, like I said, he got it for free. So I really doubt he's going to want to spend all this money to do a timing belt water pump job on top of everything else that's going on here. I doubt it. I really doubt it. So we'll see. All right, 2004 Honda Odyssey, doing a timing belt. First things first. Crank, pulley, crank bolt. Okay, same setup as usual. Right on. Alright, let's see what's going on here. Alright, here we go. And that's all she wrote. Loving it. Alright. Alright, follow up. 2004 Odyssey. Alright, open up the timing belt cover, and guess what we see now? Look at the wires right there. That's the crankshaft sensor, and the wire is just hanging out. Alright, I think we found the problem. And then it was overdue for a timing belt. This was a blessing in disguise for this owner. Look at the state of the belt. So that leaking of the water pump would really a blessing in disguise, because he would have easily broke the timing belt, and that would have been the end of the engine. So the man is very fortunate for that leak. So not all seemingly calamities are bad for you. A lot of times there's some greater good. You just gotta see the silver lining, and that was my preaching today. Anywho, let me go put in time, remove the old belt, jack up the engine, remove the engine mount. Before I remove the belt, I gotta remove the engine mount. And we're gonna go, because it's kind of hot, I can't really film this procedure. This one is a lot easier than the newer B6, because a lot less to deal with. So definitely a lot simpler than most that I've done so far. So thankful for that. Keep it moving. We got a GMC Acadia 2008, diagnosing a no start. First of all, the battery was very weak. I tried to jump it with the boost pack. It started cranking, but I would not start. So Being that I didn't hear the fuel pump prime, and then I don't have a battery maintainer, I got my jumper cables. Now I got my setup here, trying to check the fuel pressure and see if we got fuel actually coming up here, so we can eliminate that. I do have a check engine light. I haven't checked what it is yet, but I actually got codes everywhere. So we're gonna do a code report, and then we'll move on to check really what's going on. Alright, what do we got? Okay, evap vent solenoid circuit. So we know the vents. Okay, this we know from time a while back that needed to be done. Okay, device low voltage. We know that's the problem for the ECU performance. That's just 1000. Somebody clear the codes. Passenger presence module erratic. Not sure about that. Lost communication with the instrument instrument panel cluster module. Rollover sensor. Okay, this I think this is all due to the battery dying. I think that's what it is. All of these codes gonna have to do with the battery just dying. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just erase everything for now. Let's get back. Escape. No, that's not exit. Just quick erase. Let's quick erase everything. Yeah, the vent valve definitely need to be replaced. I knew that. I told the customer about it, but I don't want to crawl under this car. So certain jobs I really hate to do. Any job that requires me to go under the car, I don't like. Right now we're sitting at 12.5 volt almost, with the battery being charged by my car there. So I'm gonna use the scanner to command the fuel pump on. Then we'll check for fuel pressure, and if we don't have any, well, then we're going to check powers and grounds, because I'm definitely not crawling under this car. I will just have to refer him to a different shop. The car's sitting on the incline right now, and it's like 100 degrees, actually more than that. It's probably about 110 degrees right now. So I'm definitely not crawling under this car. Cool. So let's go to, sorry about the glare, but if you're watching car videos, you know the glare is part of the job. What we're going to do, let's go to the active test. I'm going to look at the fuel pump relay right there. Make sure fuel lines are connected. Okay, cool. Now let's go out there. We're going to check our fuel gauge here, and hopefully my connection is tight. I think it is tight. Okay. Oh, okay. Still a little bit left there. So it's tight. At a weird angle there because of the head. Anyway, let me activate this and look at here. Nothing. I can hear something that sounds like a fuel pump, but right here, nothing is coming out of here. So we got an issue. Unless, of course, this gauge is not really well connected, like it's not actually doing a thing here. Hold on a second here. But I think I'm connected all the way. Again. Yeah, this is not moving at all. And I hear the pump running though for some reason. Alright. Let me see if I got another adapter. Just to verify. And if anything else, I'm just going to press the straighter valve itself. I'm going to depress it and see what happens. If I don't see anything coming out there, then yeah, I don't think I have any other attachment that can give me a better connection there. Nope, that's that one. So alright guys, the fact that I can hear the pump running, no fuel pressure, hopefully the lines are not disconnected at the gas tank itself, inside of it, because I don't smell gas. Let me Give me a second. I'm going to remove that connection there, and I'm going to just depress the valve and see if I see anything coming out. Alright, let me just get this. In case we have something shooting out of here, we are prepared. Nope. So my gauge is right. We got no fuel. So where do you go from here when you got a situation like this? I mean, obviously the pump, you can hear it, and I'm going to do another test just to put it right next to where the pump is so you can hear that buzzing sound. Maybe this would be okay. Let's see if you can hear it. You can hear it, but I don't know if you can hear it well. Let me open the gas gap. Where is that one? Alright. Let's put you here and see if you can hear anything. I think you heard that. I'm going to try again one more time. Alright, so if you were to diagnose this car, what would you do? You hear fuel pump. I don't think it has any access hole from inside the cabin. So the only way you can access the fuel pump is to drop the tank. What would you do? Fuel is definitely not coming here. So even if the fuel pump is good, the lines inside of the tank are probably messed up or it came off or something, because yeah, there's nothing here. Nothing there. Nothing. Alright, so either way, we gotta drop the tank in order to see what's really going on. So that's the end of my diagnosing. We got no fuel. We got obviously some type of either the pump is bad or the connections at the pump have loosened up, came off. I can't smell fuel in the back, so I know it's not, fuel is not leaking from the back. So there's no fuel leak. We would have smelt it. Fuel is really strong. The fact of the matter is, we'll just go down just to see. And yeah, there's nothing out here. Nothing. You see how huge this tank is? I definitely don't have anything, to do this type of job properly. Properly is the key word here, guys. Properly. So I'm gonna elect to just let him take it to his old mechanic shop and let them worry about putting up a fuel pump in it and hopefully a new battery, and that should take care of that. Alright guys, what's going on, guys? So today we got a Dodge Caravan. Customer complaint, AC is not working. So I hooked up the gauges to check that I have a charge, and indeed I have a charge. So I did just a basic test before I go any crazier. Pop this cover, look for the AC relay, and this was it right here, this one. So basically what I have done, I removed the AC relay, got my test light to ground first of all, right there to ground, right, check that my ground is good, my test light is working properly. Then I went in there and looked for the power side. So one power source, another one upon ignition. Ignition is off, I believe. Let me turn it on. Yep. Alright, so we got the constant power, that's working. Constant power right there working. Let's see the ignition power working. So we got two grounds. One of them going to be the ground to the coil winding at the clutch, and the other one going to be the ground side switch by the computer, which should be only on if the computer is on. So we're going to see if the clutch is actually still good, right? Just like it's working. So let's go see if the clutch is working. We're going to look for a ground here. Okay, so this is going to be our ground to the clutch, and as you can see, right. So we know the clutch winding is still okay, it's not compromised. Then this ground only gets activated, the other one, when the computer grounds it. So now we're not supposed to find anything here. So what I've done is, instead of making this like a complex situation, I looked at the this relay we are here at the end. This is for the horn. So I checked that the horn was working, and I swapped the two relays, the one from the coil, from the clutch to the one. So this used to be the clutch relay right there. So I just did some swaptronics with this relay, which was the horn relay, right? That's about it. Then I went inside, turned my car on, turned the AC on, and the clutch came on. Very simply. And now, in fact, let me go turn the AC on. Is it still on? Not even sure. Alright, let me see. If I have my computer ground, we're going to test it out just now. No, the computer's not grounding it this time. Alright, let me check. It was working just before I made the video. This is crazy. Alright, so let me check my fuse here. Alright, fuse is still good. So, oh, my fault. I probably put this thing back the way it used to be. Alright, so there you go. Alright, this is crazy. It was just working. It was really just working. That's crazy. That is crazy. Alright, what am I missing here? The computer ground is not getting there anymore. That's kind of crazy. That's crazy. Wow. It was literally just there. Alright, let me remove it just a little bit to see it right there. See, now it's on. Look at the pressures. If I take up that light, it's no longer grounded. So the computer's not grounding it. I gotta go now towards the switch then. Maybe the input, the AC switch, is not good. Because clearly, look at it. I'm gonna ground it one more time. Look at the pressures. Now my AC is working. Look at that. Very dim lights. Alright, so let me go ahead and chase this pressure switch and see if this is my problem maybe. Alright, so all I did is find the switch, which hides right there. I disconnected it, reconnected it, started the car, turned the AC on, and there we go. Right, so now it's working. So maybe the switch is stuck. It looks like the car's just been sitting for a long time. That's what it sounds like to me. It's just been sitting for a whole lot of time, and it's kind of even low on the pressure side, but anyway, we're gonna fill it up. Or I should just maybe go ahead and replace the switch just to be on the safe side. Tell the customer we're gonna just replace that switch and refill the system, vacuum it, and do it properly. I think that's probably the better repair than to just send him on his way with some iffy situation. If the switch goes wonkers, if the switch goes bad, when I already told the customer, okay, it's fixed, then it falls on me, and that's not good for your reputation as a mechanic. Another problem is all this rackety noise you hear. And look at the pulley, the crankshaft pulley, wobbly. Like really wobbly. Let me zoom in there. Look at it. So we're going to replace the crank pulley, the tensioner, and the belt at the same time, and replace that AC switch. And that should be it. Vacuum it, recharge it. I think that's about it. Right now it's working. You see the pressures. So, all right, guys, that's the end of the diagnosis for me. I'm gonna just talk to the customer, see what they want to do. What's going on, guys? We got a 2005 across the town and country 3.8. I did a diagnosis on the AC system, and we're seeing the pulley wobbly, so I suggested to the customer to replace basically the belt and all of the pulleys and tensioners and everything else. Just kind of give it a refresher. So that's what we're here to do. So far I've taken out the tensioner, okay, and the idler, okay, 10 millimeter, 15 millimeter, and another 15 or 14 millimeter, I'm not sure. This one's gonna require a puller. Once you take it off, all right, that's that. Then we gotta get a puller to kind of pull it out. I'm gonna hook it up right now and show you. Oh yeah, and a quick tip before you remove the old pulley all the time, or every time, check the basically the run out between the pulley and the where it sits right there. Make sure you measure the distance, so when you put the new pulley, you know when to stop, in case it goes further than that. Sometimes it's made that it's going to stop when it bottoms out, and it's perfectly aligned with the other pulleys. But you can see cases where, especially when it comes to seals, to where you forgot, was it recessed, was it out front? So always pay attention to this before you go ahead and remove it. Make sure that this is okay. Okay, so I looked at it. Looks like about a millimeter between where the pulley sits and actually the shaft. So let's go do that. Okay, so the pulley puller is set. They want you to use a ratchet. I mean, I'm pretty sure in the pinch you can use a this looks like a 17 millimeter, maybe a 19. Let's see here. Yeah, 19 millimeter or 18, I'm not sure. Okay, 19 will work. So basically go ahead and just ratchet it out. Okay. All right. Got to fall. I can feel it. Really strong. That's about it. And now it's out. Okie doke. Retrieve our little pin there. And by the way, this is the puller set by ARES. How do you say it? I don't know. ARES? Something. But I bought this a while back from Amazon. Didn't cost a lot of money. That's the part number right there, if it has one. Yeah, 71002. Yeah, for the time that you do need to use it, pretty good tool. Alright guys, let me bring the new parts now. Okay, so that's the part number for the harmonic balancer right there, made by Dorman, 594-103. And that's the part for the kit that comes with the tensioner, the pulley, with the bolt and the belt, made by Gates. Complete kit, and that's right there. Part number 90K-38185. Okay, let's unpack these things and do it. Sorry guys, had a lot of phone calls and I was working. Anyway, so now the pulley's going back in. I have also a pulley installer kit that I got from Harbor Freight, which is very cheap, about 16 bucks. Basically that's what I'm using right now to put it in. I mean, I think it's the best way to do it. If you have a longer bolt, you can probably use your impact and you kind of drill it all the way in. But I feel like this is probably the way to do it, if you ask me. Anyway, kind of, yeah, now it's getting almost there. The something here, the whole thing only still can do it. So we are using the rest of the way. That's do it. Okay, guys. But go ahead and make sure it's all out and then all right, so there you go. We have the same distance that before. So this one goes all the way down, and that's how much space you're gonna get. The 1 millimeter that I measured in the beginning, in the run out, it's gonna be the way. You don't have to even worry about it. Just run it all the way down. So what I've done after I had enough, usually I take the rubber mallet and I just pound it gently in the middle, and it'll kind of seat it, and I can just use the bolt and run it with the impact. But today, for some reason, it wasn't going on. So that's when I decided to use my pulley remover and installer set. But normally, honestly, I don't use it because time is money. So I just run it with the impact and with the original bolt. That should do the trick. Anyway, so that's that. Now I'm going to go ahead and fit the no pulley and the no tensioner, and then the belt, and then we'll be out of here. All right, guys. Okay, guys. So everything is in place now. No tensioner, no idler, no harmonic balancer, no more rattling. Steady, no belt, no more noise. All right. So next project is recover the Freon and replace the pressure sensor right there. And then after that, vacuum, recharge, and everything goes fine. We deliver the car. What is up, guys? So we're back. This is a 2005 Town and Country that we did some of the belt work. The drive bell, the tensioner, the pulley, and the harmonic balancer. And as I said in that video, I replaced the pressure switch on the AC right there. After I diagnosed it, I thought this was going to be the problem. And now I'm vacuuming the system. I already checked it for leaks early on, and it held pretty good. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add just a little bit of bag oil in it. And the reason being, when I was evacuating the system, I didn't see any type of oil coming out. So for the sake of just making sure that the system can run smoothly, we're going to add just a little bit, because I'm not sure how much the system going to take. So I got about 2 ounces here, nothing big. So I'm going to show you what I've seen from Skinner Danner a while back. And what we're going to do, basically, we're going to close the high side, okay, and we're going to unhook it from the manifold side, and it's going to keep sucking now. And then you got to just watch this, take it out. As you can hear it, it's sucking, and then we go ahead and just suck this out. Just like that. That's about it. And then hook it back up. And we're going to let it vacuum a little bit more, maybe another 10 minutes. Make sure this liquid finds itself throughout the system, and then we'll be ready to charge up, because we're going to charge on the low side anyway. So that's about it. As you can see, we lost a little bit of vacuum there as we opened up the line, but we're going back. We're going back to 28 mercury very soon. So just open up this side. There you go. And there you have it. So let me let it vacuum, I guess, like I said, for another 10 minutes, and I'll be ready to charge. This is a Buick LeSabre, 1999. And the complaint was sometimes it doesn't start. I had the car since yesterday and let it sit here for a whole day. I came to crank it, it cranked right up. So has a really strong crank, starts right up. So I was hoping to catch the starter failing. So I hooked up my test light to the signal wire on the starter. I cranked it a few times and it started every time. So I decided to hook up my fuel gauge to check the pressure on the fuel pump. And this is what I'm reading right now. 50 psi when the car is running. About 50 psi on prime. So I'm not sure. It's not, the car doesn't die when the guy drives it, so this test is really whatever. But what could prevent the car from starting us? I don't know. So now I'm gonna go to the back seat and check the battery and see maybe the terminals are loose and maybe somebody will sit in the back and as a result it'll move. I don't know. But right now, unable to duplicate the symptoms, so it is what it is. Has good pressure. It's not falling at all. It's staying steady. About 49 psi. I feel like it's good pressures, right? I'm gonna try to rev it up, see if the pressure. Well, that's not even my concern, honestly. The car doesn't die when you drive it. He doesn't have that kind of complaint, so even if it goes down as I'm revving it, it still doesn't do nothing with the no start. So actually, when I rev it, it goes up. Yeah, I was wrong with this fuel pump. I mean, I don't know. Let's try again. I don't know. If I'm blaming anything, that probably could be a battery, and it's not a drain because I let it sit for the whole night. And I came and I started it and it started right up. It's strong crank. So I don't feel no type of drain on the battery. So I don't know. It is what it is. Let me go ahead and drain some of the fluid, the fuel. And then we're gonna go check the battery.